You can literally build whatever life you want. That's the truth. But most people never do because they don't even believe it's possible. You see, they think life is fixed, that you just take what you're given, you play it safe, and then you hope something good happens along the way. But that belief keeps people stuck for decades. Like they want more money, more freedom, more peace, but they don't actually believe that they can have it. And when you don't believe, or when you stop believing that it's possible, you stop trying to create it. You settle. You start managing your life instead of building your life. And then you just start accepting the same life that you wish was different. But you don't get what you wish for. You get what you believe you can have. When that belief shifts, when you finally decide that it's possible for you, everything is going to change for you. You can create whatever you want. But it starts here. It starts with belief first. You have to believe it's possible. You have to believe that you're capable. And then just get to work. And you've probably had moments where you told yourself, this time I'm changing. You know, and for a while you probably did. But then you fell off and you went right back to what felt normal. And that happens when your habits still line up with your old life. You can't keep living the same way and expect things to change. The habits and beliefs that got you here ain't gonna get you there. Now, when things get hard, people usually go back to what's easy. They go back to the habits and the beliefs that they've lived with the longest. It's not even a decision, it's automatic. You've repeated certain behaviors for years, even when they've held you back. And change feels hard because you're trying to outgrow a way of living that's been running your life for a long time. You've lived a certain way for so long that your body has gotten used to it. Every emotion that you feel, stress, frustration, anger, comfort, avoidance, your body releases chemicals with it. When you feel the same emotions every day, your system starts expecting them. It treats those feelings as your baseline. And so if stress has been your normal, then your body learns to run on stress. If comfort has been your normal, then your body learns to chase comfort. If you've spent years putting things off, then your body learns to relax when something starts to feel hard. And this is why change feels uncomfortable. Your body isn't used to the new way yet. It's used to the old way. Like when you try to stay focused, your nervous system, it just pulls you towards the distractions that you've always used. When you try to get disciplined with food, your nervous system reaches for the comfort foods that you've always went to. Damn Christmas tree cakes. When you try to change your morning routine or you want to get up earlier, your nervous system pushes you toward the same slow start that you have every single morning. Now, when you start to respond differently, your system, your nervous system, goes straight to the reaction that you've practiced the longest. You're not dealing with motivation problems. This is your nervous system asking for what it knows. It's looking for the same feelings that you've been giving it for years. And none of this is deep or dramatic. It's just repetition. Whatever you've done the most becomes the easiest thing to repeat, even when it's ruining your progress. So when you're trying to change, you're not just starting new habits. You're getting your body used to a new way of living. Your body needs time to adjust. Your mind needs time to adjust. And most people quit before that ever happens because it's hard and they haven't built belief in themselves yet. They don't realize that their nervous system is still wired for their old life. But once you understand that, the difficulty of change, it makes sense. You finally understand what you're fighting. Change starts when you finally understand what you're dealing with. You're not fighting discipline. You're not fighting motivation. You're fighting the patterns that have been running your life for years. But here's the good part. Patterns can be changed, and you change them the same way that they were created, through repetition, through small wins, and choosing the new path over the old one. Now, there are 3 parts to this, and anybody can do this if they commit to it. Number 1, you have to interrupt the pattern. Before anything changes, you need 1 moment of awareness, 1 second where you catch yourself. This is what I mean when I tell people that you have to live consciously in the moment. You catch yourself reaching for your phone. You catch yourself about to quit. You catch yourself getting mad. Like in my own life, I can feel when I'm starting to get angry. I can feel when something offends me. There's always a split second before that reaction hits. And that's the moment that you're looking for. You catch it right there. That's it. That's the moment. And that moment, it breaks the automatic cycle long enough for you to make a different choice. You can't change something that you don't notice. This is where change actually starts. Number one was you caught it. Number two, you replace it with a better action. People fail because they try to overhaul their entire life in one day, and that never works. You don't need a massive change. You just need a better action than the one that you normally take. If you usually avoid something, do 2 minutes of it. If you usually scroll on your phone, put the phone down and stand up. If you usually react fast, take 1 breath before you speak. If you usually quit early, do 1 more rep, do 1 more minute, write 1 more page. It doesn't matter how small it is. Small actions are going to teach your body a new way to respond. Small actions stack into real identity change. Your system learns by doing, not by thinking. This is where you start matching your belief with your behavior. The final thing, number 3, you repeat it until it sticks. See, this is the part that separates people who talk about change from the people who actually change. Repetition rewires everything. At first, the new habit's gonna feel unnatural, and then it feels forced. Then it feels possible, and then it becomes normal, and then it just becomes who you are. That's the shift. When the habit stops being something you're trying to do and becomes something that you naturally do. You're not doing discipline. You're living like someone who keeps their word. You're not working on consistency. You're just consistent. You're not trying to change. You've changed. And that's how belief becomes real. Habits make it real. When your belief changes and your habits finally match that belief, your whole life begins to move in one direction. You stop fighting yourself. You stop negotiating. You stop going back to who you were. You start proving to yourself every single day that the future you want is actually possible. And then this is where momentum comes from. This is where confidence comes from. This is where your new life starts to actually take shape. When your belief shifts and your habits start to match that belief, life gets clearer. You stop waking up and letting the day control you. You know what you're doing. You know why you're doing it. Your days have direction instead of, just randomness. You stop negotiating with yourself. You don't talk yourself out of the things that you're committed to. You don't debate your standards every morning. You just do the work. You stop getting thrown off by every little thing that happens in your life. Something annoys you, you handle it. You don't let it ruin your whole day. Your energy lasts longer too. You're not drained from restarting all the time. You're not tired from breaking promises to yourself. You say you're gonna do something, and you actually do it. You follow through when it's boring. You follow through when nobody sees it. You follow through because it's just who you are now. And you can feel that shift. You feel more grounded. You feel more in control of your day. You feel more in control of your emotions and your direction. You carry yourself differently because you know that you can depend on yourself. And that confidence shows up everywhere. It shows up in your work. It shows up in your relationships, your decisions. And this is what happens when beliefs and habits finally match. Your life stops pulling you in 2 different directions. Everything lines up. Everything moves forward. At this point, everything comes down to one thing. You have to decide who you're going to be from this day forward. Not the version of you that keeps starting over, not the version of you that talks about change but doesn't stick to it. The version of you that believes it's possible and backs that belief up with real action. You already know what it feels like to live below your potential. You already know what it's like to want more. You already know what it's like to carry the frustration of not following through. You know the weight that comes with breaking promises to yourself. You don't need another reminder of who you are. You need a clear decision about who you're going to be now, because belief without action is nothing, and habits without belief are going to fall apart. You need both. The moment you decide that you're done living the old way, your actions need to match it every day. Not perfectly, mind you, but consistently. This is where your confidence comes from proving to yourself over and over again that you're somebody who follows through. And once that starts happening, your whole life is going to change. You don't need extra motivation. You don't need somebody to hold your hand. You don't need a pep talk. You know what you're doing and you do it. You look in the mirror and you know that you're becoming the person who can live the life that you want. You know you're telling yourself the truth. You know you're living at a higher level. People around you notice it. You carry yourself differently. You move differently. You decide differently. And all of that comes from the same place. Belief first, habits second, and then proof every single day. So here's the challenge. Pick the life you want. Pick the version of you that can build it. And start acting like that person today. Not next year, not when it's convenient, not Monday, right now. Because the second that your belief shifts and your habits start matching that belief, your entire life moves. And it's only a matter of time before your reality catches up to who you decided to become. This is where everything changes, if you choose it. If you're ready to build the habits and beliefs that match the life that you want, start the rebuild. It's a free 5-day reset that gives you structure. It gives you the standards and the momentum to actually begin this process. Don't wait, start it today. Give yourself the chance to see what happens when you finally commit to the life you keep saying you want.